Brendan Fraser, the 56-year-old Canadian-American actor whose career has been a roller coaster of meteoric rises, heartbreaking hiatuses, and a phoenix-like resurgence, embodies the raw, unvarnished humanity that cinema so often aspires to capture. From the slapstick charm of Encino Man and the vine-swinging exuberance of George of the Jungle to the introspective depths plumbed in The Whale, Fraser's journey is a masterclass in resilience. Yet, 2 years after clinching the Academy Award for Best Actor in 2023, a career-defining triumph that silenced skeptics and reignited his star, Fraser grapples with an adversary more insidious than typecasting or industry blacklists: his own unrelenting self-criticism. In a soul-bearing interview, he lays bare the paradox of external validation clashing with internal torment, offering a poignant reminder that even Oscar statuettes can't polish away the scars of doubt. "I struggle with confidence," Fraser confesses, his words hanging heavy with the authenticity that's become his hallmark. "I always have the feeling of not being good enough." It's a vulnerability that traces back decades, woven into the fabric of his psyche long before Hollywood's glare amplified it. The sensation of inadequacy isn't a fleeting imposter syndrome but a persistent whisper, one that Fraser describes as more lacerating than any external barb. "Believe me, no one can be harder on me than me," he continues, his voice a gravelly timbre honed by years of emotive roles. "No critic, no pithy internet comment can be more biting to me than myself and my private thoughts. That's okay. I grapple with overcoming that." In an age of curated triumphs and filtered facades, Fraser's candor cuts through like an unscripted scene, humanizing the icon and inviting audiences to confront their own shadows. This internal dialogue isn't new, it's an old adversary, revisited in flashbacks to pivotal career moments. Flashback to the 1990s, when Fraser hosted Saturday Night Live, a rite of passage for rising stars. In a pre-show huddle with Lorne Michaels, the show's legendary producer, Fraser received a nugget of wisdom that both inspired and haunted: "You know, it's all about confidence." The advice landed like a half-formed pep talk, equal parts motivation and mirror to his insecurities. "I don't know if that psyched me up or not," Fraser reflects now, chuckling at the memory's ambiguity. "Forget everything you know and just own it. Can you do that?" Is the question the eternal one? Hosting that night demanded a bravado he didn't fully possess, a performance of self-assurance amid sketches and monologues that masked the churning doubt beneath. It was a microcosm of his early career, dazzling audiences with physical comedy and boyish charm while privately questioning if the applause was pity or placebo. The Road to the Whale, Darren Aronofsky's unflinching 2022 drama where Fraser portrayed Charlie, a reclusive English teacher wrestling with grief and obesity, was paved with such existential queries. Preparing for the role meant confronting not just the physical transformation, a prosthetic suit adding over 100 pounds, but emotional excavation. "Filming The Whale helped me get over some sense of insecurity," he admits, crediting the process with chipping away at self-imposed walls. Immersing in Charlie's isolation mirrored Fraser's own post-2000s retreat from the spotlight, a period marked by physical injuries from action films, a 2003 sexual assault allegation against a Hollywood Foreign Press member that derailed his momentum, and the quiet erosion of opportunities. The film's intimacy, shot largely in a single apartment set, forcing Fraser to embody vulnerability without escape, became cathartic. Aronofsky's direction, empathetic yet demanding, coaxed performances that felt like therapy sessions on celluloid, earning Fraser not just critical acclaim but a visceral reconnection with his craft. Yet even Oscar Gold couldn't exorcise the demons. The 2023 ceremony, with its standing ovations and teary speeches, was a vindication, a narrative arc Hollywood loves, the comeback kid. But in the quiet aftermath, as award show confetti settled, Fraser found himself back in familiar territory. "I get angry. Sure, I get frustrated," he elaborates, dissecting the anatomy of his discontent. "I see the shortcuts and loopholes that get taken. It's a frustration born of observing inequities in an industry rife with nepotism and power plays, where talent alone rarely suffices." Fraser likens it to, "The proverbial bully has the palm of his hand on your forehead and you're throwing haymakers that don't land until you're exhausted and you're being laughed at." The metaphor evokes playground taunts, but scaled to adult stakes. Auditions lost to flashier names, scripts that gather dust, the slow grind of rebuilding after personal reckonings like his divorces and health battles. Who then stands up for the underdog, the artist gaslit by his own reflection? Fraser poses the question rhetorically, but his actions suggest an answer. Post-Whale, he's selective with roles, prioritizing stories that probe human frailty over blockbuster escapism. His narration in Fry's Planet Word docuseries delved into language's power to wound or heal, a meta-exploration of the pithy comments he endures. Off-screen, Fraser channels energy into advocacy, supporting #MeToo initiatives and mental health platforms, turning personal pain into collective progress. I don't know if it's me, he muses about being a voice for the marginalized, but I know if I don't contribute to that, maybe that's a way I can help. It's a humble pivot from leading man to quiet ally, underscoring his growth. Fraser's struggle resonates because it's universal, amplified by fame's funhouse mirror. Actors like him, once cultural touchstones now reflective veterans, offer blueprints for endurance. He draws from influences like Humphrey Bogart, whose later career gravitas eclipsed matinee idols, or Robin Williams, whose humor masked profound depths. Therapy, hiking in upstate New York, and fatherhood to sons Griffin, Holden, and Leland ground him, reminders that worth isn't measured in reels. As he eyes future projects, a rumored The Whale follow-up, perhaps voice work in animated fare, Fraser embraces the grapple. Confidence, he implies, isn't a destination but a daily defiance, one private thought reframed at a time. In sharing this, he doesn't seek pity but partnership, inviting us to question our bullies, internal or otherwise, and swing anyway.